that all regional communities can work together moving forward to advance commodities market? And also, what are some infrastructures that you think should be put in place to allow regional communities to work together to enhance commodity trading in Africa?
Thank you. I think this speaks to collaboration across regional blocks, across individual countries, to collaborate in terms of sharing one super infrastructure to benefit the economies. So what we are looking at here is that in Africa we are looking at 1.3 billion people in terms of our population. That's a massive market of 1.3 billion. At the moment, it's not fully being exploited because it's fragmented into small little corners. So by collaborating and collaborating on infrastructure, you are actually making a market for 1.3 billion, which is a very big market. We're looking at consolidated GDP of 3.4 trillion, just showing the capacity of Africa. So in terms of the collaboration, it starts with the countries themselves looking at comparative advantage that is not being taken advantage of. Why would each country produce everything, even in the conditions that make it difficult for them to be competitive? What it needs is for each country to specialize in the commodities that it has a comparative advantage on. But when it does that, it is now looking beyond the domestic market. It can go overboard in terms of the production, exceeding the local demand, because it is now looking at a bigger market that is comprising of 1.3 billion population. So that is very important at country level. But coming down to commodities exchanges as providers of infrastructure, also it is important for there to be such collaboration so that when we consolidate the commodities exchange infrastructure, we de-risk the markets or the farmers that we deal with in our respective markets. Meaning that when you have de-risked them, they become attractive for financing, and financing, when it comes in, it enhances production, and production now creates the liquidity that you need on the markets, and as you create liquidity, you are able now to achieve some of the SDGs that should actually speak to our economies and our people. So in a nutshell, the infrastructure that we can consolidate and collaborate on has a massive impact in terms of making Africa as a continent quite competitive in the global scheme of things. Thank you.
All right. Poonam, we've talked about trade barriers. We're about to round up because SG is about to do a signing. We've talked on trade barriers, and we've seen in instances where Nigeria is promoting trade, however, Kenya has locked borders and stuff like that. So in terms of those policies across nations, what are some of the policies that AfCFTA has that can help in those regards? Because if we want to promote intra-African trade and Nigeria is increasing exports, but Kenya has locked borders, then there is not, it's more about much ado about nothing. So what are some of the efforts from AfCFTA to help in such instances, and then we'll take round words.
Thank you, Roslyn. I mean, this is such a large question that we could stay here all day, all night for us to address it. In the interest of time, because now we will have to wrap up, I'm so sorry, because there will be a signature of an MOU, and then we will take up perhaps the questions after, because we come back. And when we come back, we are going to talk about these barriers that you mentioned. We will talk especially about infrastructure, quality infrastructure, that is very much linked to the AfCFTA agreement as it is, because we have got a whole section on sanitary and phytosanitary measures, and you were just talking about that, and technical barriers to trade and non-tariff barriers. So there are a lot of policy and a lot of work that is being done in this regard. And that is why I do not want now to, I can't go on now